All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to, my YouTube channel. You guys know I like to call this our locker room. I didn't say my locker room, but our locker room. A locker room can't just be one person's locker room. Then it wouldn't be a locker room. It's the gathering place, the place that we all get together to talk about the things we love. We love sports, certainly football. It's usually what brings us here, but there's so much to talk about. Speaking of, so much to talk about. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I had a great Christmas. Um, yeah, I say I had a great Christmas. And I'm hoping everybody have a great holiday, happy holidays, and have a great New Year, happy New Year's. And I can say I had a great Christmas. I've always measured my Christmas. I told you, my dad, he was always complaining about this time. But now, I've gotten to the place where I got everything. So everybody says, well, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, just keep my money because I'm going to have to give you the money to get it. So I might as well just keep. But I love Christmas. I love it for the little kiddos. Um, Watching my little granddaughters open gifts and everything. And being able to have a better Christmas than I had when I was growing up. You know what? That's how we should measure things. I don't think we do enough of that. Think about where you were growing up and now the opportunities your kids have. That's how you know you've been on that step ladder doing better and doing well and life is going better than it was when you were here. It's better for them. And hopefully we do it right. It'll be better for their kids when they're getting our age. So yeah, enjoy the holidays together. Let me tell you something now. We got a lot going on because we got this Monday night football game going on. And we're coming to you Tuesday coming to you Monday instead of Tuesday because of the new year tomorrow, New Year's Eve. Right now, San Fran just went up 7-0 over the Lions. I told everybody this is a dangerous game for San Francisco, for the Lions. Now, not because, injuries are always a thing, but they got this game, and then they played Minnesota for the number one seed in the NFC. And that's an incredible thing. You think about that. Right now, they're 13-2. You can actually be 14-2, play that last game and lose it, and have to go on the road to play playoffs. That'll be a hell of a thing for Detroit. And Detroit gets to play the last game at home. So that'll be a hell of a fall. Now, Minnesota, on the other hand, lost week 7 and 8, and now has turned into they won nine in a row. I think 9 straight, and they'll get a chance to get that number one seed if they beat Detroit next week. And the NFL does it so great. That game is going to be played Sunday night. Can you guys imagine that? Sunday night between Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions. The last game of the season determines who gets the bye in the NFC. Man, that's pretty incredible now. I know I told you that the score is already 7-0 San Francisco up and how dangerous this game is for Detroit. But I'm telling you right now, Detroit got the ball. They're moving right back down the field. It's almost like they're saying, no, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to fall off. Now, San Fran has so much to prove because they've had such an up and down, just basically a down year, because a lot of injuries and they're not where they're supposed to be. So when a team gets like this, they feel like, we can mess up your season. And I'm sure that's what their intentions are, being the spoiler. But got to see what Detroit can do about that. All that hard work that they put in all year, it comes down to this. This is what makes the NFL so great. You're never, ever, ever sure of how it's going to play out. I had the Vikings in that line, and Vikings and Packers game, and when I picked them, they were favored by, I took the Lions -1. And I was like, we got this game locked up. the whole game. They got this game locked up. And then towards the end, I think it was 27-10. Next thing I know, it's 25-27. They moved the point from a point to a point and a half earlier that day. And the Lions won. I mean, the Vikings won by 2. By 2 points. I took the Vikings -1 to beat the Packers. And I'm like, come on, man. I was going crazy, dude. If I gambled money, and I don't know how many of you guys out here gamble money, but if I gambled money, I would be crazy. I would be the worst person in the world to be around. I'm just doing it for the show, and I'd be on 12 watching those games because I picked against the spread, and I'm watching how this thing falls, and I don't want a bad beat. Oh my God, it runs me crazy. And people, that's got to be so addictive. That's a hell of a rush, and trust me, I've felt a few rushes in my life, if you know what I mean. So that kind of rush is dangerous. Oh. He just did it. Jameson Williams just scored for Detroit. All right, was that reverse? 3-yard rush to the yellow reverse. So now 7-6. Detroit, get ready to line them up for the extra point. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about when you talk about is a team ready. That's early adversity. You're playing on the road. 49ers go down and score. They're hyped. They're pumped. The Lions said, not so fast. So, no. They march right back down. They're not taking this from us. And they score again. Now the game. The extra point just got blocked. Fred Warner just got tackled. After picking it up. So now it's 7-6. Here again, little adversity. How do they handle that? But I believe, dude just bowled over the center. Just bowled right over the center, man, and blocked that kick. That 1 point, hope it don't come back to bite them. But I believe the Lions should be able to take care of this game. Though it is a scary game. People say, everybody's in the game, and they're trying to prove that they're still a very good team. They just had a down season. Speaking of a very good team, and speaking of have a great season, not a down season, everybody's talking now the MVP race. And I want to jump in the conversation here and just share with people. First, please, I understand Joe Burrow's having a good year, and I love Joe Burrow, and I love Jamar Chase. But we got to have parameters here, guys. We can't just throw people in the MVP race because their numbers are good. The numbers have to lead to victories. And if you don't have victories, then you just have numbers. And we can't measure them accordingly just because you don't have the victories. You're losing games. You got to get in the win column. You have to be significant numbers in the win column. Think about it. It's most valuable player. You can't be a most valuable player in the league until you're the most valuable player on a team that is winning. Because there are going to be other guys that are worthy of that trophy, and they're going to be on teams that's winning. And so now you're going to say, I'm measuring your numbers, Joe Burrow, and your numbers are slightly better than Lamar Jackson's numbers. So you should be MVP. But forget the fact that Lamar Jackson has won more games than in the playoffs. You guys are fighting to be in the playoffs right now. You see what I'm saying? So well, and hoping you need a lot to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen. But you see what I'm saying. So I moved Joe Burrow out. Great year, but I move him out of this race. And I do believe what Saquon Barkley did and going over 2,000 yards against my Dallas Cowboys. Because I believe late in the season, like right now, what happens is the MVP between Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Saquon Barkley, and those are the guys I have in there, almost becomes almost like that MVP race becomes like the Heisman race. It's like, do you have a big game in front of a big crowd, and can you show up big? That'll sway public opinion and voters. That's what I feel like the MVP has gotten now. And I don't know, Josh Allen probably won't even play in week 17. So and last week 18. So he's already done. Lamar Jackson is going to play. He can go out here and have a light up day. Saquon Barkley, and I'm gonna tell you, if that game that they played Sunday against the Cowboys, say that was for first place in the NFC East, like it was the last couple of years, and he goes over 2,000 yards, and all the eyes be on that game, and they had won that game, then they will be saying Saquon Barkley stole the show. He's the new front runner for the MVP. Doing it against Dallas and all of that, and all of you think I'm crazy. I'm talking about getting eyes on it. And so coincidentally, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants this year on Thanksgiving was the most viewed football game this season. I think at the time, both of those teams may have had 6 wins between them both. So when I'm telling you that eye gate means so much, that kind of light on a Saquon Barkley at that time would have been big going towards getting that MVP. But I do believe right now that it's Josh Allen. I think one thing that could steal it, if Saquon jumps up, and I know this, say they let him play in that last game, he goes in the first half and go rushes for 200 yards. 200 yards against the Giants, breaks the record, because he only needs 106 for that or something like that. But he breaks the record against the Giants, 40-year-old record. He gets that MVP. I don't care how bad the Giants were. I don't care none of that. He gets that MVP if he does that, because I believe it's about those moments. And if he does that against his old team, oh my God, that would be incredible. But right now, I got Josh Allen right now as the MVP favorite. But Joe Burrow, he did win the game the other day, right? Game in overtime, a game against the Broncos, and that was a great game. Now that was a great game. Go back. I want to see them numbers. Go back. I want to see those numbers that we were just talking about. The Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow threw 412 yards, 3 TDs. T. Higgins went off. Oh my God! Let me tell y'all something. If you go back and see that game, go back and see. I wanted to do it myself. I should have done it. I intended to, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. Go back and look at that game between the Beams and the Broncos, and focus in on that Chase versus Patrick Surtain matchup. Dude, that's a battle. That's a battle. Let me tell you what I got to do. I got it because I've intended to do it, and I didn't get to it. I'm going to just be straight with you, because I want to go look at the 22, all 22s. That means I'm going to look at high and look down to see the game film, because Patrick Surtain was very physical, stayed right up on Jamar Chase. And everybody was saying, oh, he's doing a great job covering. And I used to hate when that happens when I would play Philadelphia, because that's how they did Bobby Taylor, stayed right up on me. And the camera would just show us too when there was a safety over the top of him. So he never had to worry about getting beat deep. He just had to stay physical with me. And I thought maybe, I don't know, I don't want to speak out of turn. I want to see if that's what they were doing with Patrick Surtain. It's not truly a one-on-one battle if the safety's hanging over the top. Because I was kind of shocked that they didn't try more deep balls with Jamar Chase over Patrick Surtain. Even though he was covering him great, I want to see you go deep, because he was all up on Jamar Chase. I'm like, you're not worried about getting beat deep. So I want to go get that and look at all 22. But I can't wait to see that battle for the next few years whenever I get a chance to see those two battle. That was a great matchup either way. And I know Patrick Surtain was looking for that matchup, and because Jamar Chase is a bad boy, and I'm telling you, I can't wait. That matchup, you guys will watch for a long time, a long time, and we'll be blessed to see it. That's another thing too. When I think about that, I can't wait to see Travis Hunter, guys, go up against some of these NFL wide receivers at the cornerback position. I know what he's going to do when he goes up against some of these NFL cornerbacks at the wide receiver position. He's going to put their butt on fire. I'm telling you right now, he's going to put their butt on fire. Ablaze. Because the dude has speed, man, but every time I'm watching him, he understands the game. And usually somebody this fast don't understand the game quite like he is and can't be as patient as he is with his routes. So now he can be threatening and also patient. And that's a dangerous combination because at any time he can get by you. That's a dangerous combination. So I know what Travis Hunter's going to do to the DBs in the league. He'll get open on those DBs. I'm curious to see how that thing is when he flips and plays some of the best receivers in the National Football League. That's what I'm talking about. Canes Cat Heat 305. How do we get our scouting and talent development up to the standard? I'm so glad you're bringing this up. Let me tell you something, man. I feel Mario is one man. No, it's not a one-man army. It was good to see you in tomorrow once again. One sideline. Let me tell you guys something, man. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Dude, them coaches be coaching on that sideline with Miami. I'm not that receiver coach. I was sitting there watching him do. I got to give Coach credit, man. He had that board and he was breaking in that board, man. It was fascinating because I was thinking about how they got the whole tablet. Each play right there, right when they come off. I'm like, are you joking? All we had was a still pick. I mean, you can see the angle you're taking down on going to block the safety. You saw the safeties inverting, right? Because soon as they realized it was run, they shot down on Miami. And now the receivers got to take a fatter angle to get down and try to dig them out. Man, it was insane. I loved it. I can't even imagine what I would have done if I could have had that tablet like they have right now. And Coach was working that mother, but he was working that mug. I ain't buying none of that. What they do on that sideline in Miami, it was incredible. Now, I still take the players and a JoJo Trader and stuff, and I'll still say things to them after the coach has given his thoughts on it. Because there's just some things, no joke, that as great a job as he does, he just didn't go to the depth that I had. So I learned things, and then I go back and debunk these theories and thoughts that people say. Let me give you an example. People say stuff like, go around a man's arm length, so he hugs the arm out like this. You want me to give him this arm length. I don't buy that. And see, Coach will tell you that go around arm length. So we don't want him slowing us down and grabbing us. But I say, because through study, I know arm length doesn't mean arm strength. My arm length is this. My arm strength is this. So this is where my force stops. So I can have from here on out, but this part can't do nothing. Any man can run right through this. So now, ain't no man, this will slow me down. If I hit this hand, that's arm length and strength. You're going to be forced. Boom, I can stop you with that force. But if you out here, I can't stop you with that force. You see what I mean? So I got to say, listen, I know Coach saying go around, but stay tight. I have to make sure you understand that's not his arm length because out there is no arm strength. His arm length is right here. You stay tight and you come off him tight because that matters on him having ability to flip his hips. If I go way outside of him, he has more time to flip his hips and turn and cover me. If I come tighter, it's physically impossible for him to flip hips and run with me. You see what I'm saying? That's inside stuff. Now, everything Coach said was true to his greatest knowledge. Then I come in and give him some other truth about how to separate the very little things to become the very best. That's why I enjoy the sideline. But boy, them coaches be coaching out there, man. Brady, Bradley, what you got? How good Cam Ward will be at the next level? There's so many great things I love about Cam. I'm telling you, Bradley, there's so many great things I love about Cam. Now, it's also some things that I watch and say, okay, now he's got to get this part out of him. Like you see in college, him, Shador, all of them. And I get back, I just saw the 49ers just scored. I think it was Kittle just went in and scored 4-0. It was Cal. I went Cal, Yershak, however you pronounce that last name. Now they're up 14-6. So see what I'm saying? Why I say it's a dangerous game? That battle is going. San Fran is trying to say, I told we belong here, even though we've had this season. Now they have to come back, Detroit, and strike again to see. You know what I mean? To see if San Fran will be about this all day. You got to match San Fran to see if they're going to be about it. You know they're going home after the season. So at some point, they're going to say, you got to get them to where they're questioning why they're playing so hard because their season is already over. You can't turn back. You have to go and go right now if you're Detroit and keep going right at them. That's what I'm talking about. Coach Irvin, we getting a new DC. I don't even know anymore, Striker, if we're going to get any new things. I'm hearing now, everybody keep asking, and again, Dak Prescott comes out and say, I want to keep our coach. I said, I love that he's giving support verbally here late December. I would have loved even more if he had given great support physically with his play in September. You see what I mean? This here, he's a good coach. Late December love out your mouth don't do me any good. And I like Mike McCarthy. I keep telling people, but I just think we need a change. I just don't want to line up and do this again next year and sit here and be saying, what the hell did we do? It was 3 games left and we were out of this thing. You know, everybody's saying, well, Jerry didn't give him anything this year. Okay, Rico was on there. Why did it take Rico? Rico had 100 yards for the last 5 games. Why was that gone early on? So that you see all of this stuff. It's just a lot of stuff that makes me say, I just don't want to, risk it. I don't want to risk it. I want to see a more disciplined football team. You know, the talent they have right now on that football team is really disciplined. They could still win ball games, and that's not the thing. That's not what they're doing. What Robert's saying, I don't think teams win should determine the most valuable. You don't think team wins should determine the most valuable. Sounds crazy to eliminate man's worth because the team as a whole fails. I'm not eliminating the man's worth because the team as a whole failed. I'm adding in that the team is failing with his work. I'm adding in that the team is failing with his work. So Josh Allen team is not failing, and Josh Allen don't have near the talent on his team, and he's not failing. So you're telling me I can't take anything away from the quarterback because the team isn't playing well, or a team isn't playing well enough to win, and you do know. Yeah, even though the defense hadn't played bad, hadn't been great with Cincinnati, there have been opportunities that offense just didn't get done. Late game situations that they just didn't win. You want to put it on the defense, but the reality is you can't separate. We can't say, yeah, he threw for 1,000 yards, but he threw 1,000 yards in one game, but they didn't win the game. But he played great. He deserves MVP. It doesn't matter. You're going by numbers, dude. You can't just go by numbers. It's numbers in the sense of how did it of the winning, how valuable. If everybody had great numbers, if Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all had great numbers and all losing, then I can go with you. But one of the MVPs are going to have, all of them really should, and all of them do, winning records. That we gotta have that determining factor, guys. I just don't see how we can ever do anything without having the main thing be the main thing. Pretty soon, we're gonna be these damn chumps out here, the NC2A and all of that stuff, making determining factors on who should win in the boardroom, not on the football field, and that I do not want. You know what I mean? That I do not want. I got a sneeze coming on. Hold on. I think I got allergies, so I feel that. Okay, let it go. But let me. I want to say one thing about that game too. On Sunday Night Football last night, when the Commanders beating the Falcons 30-24, I love seeing young Penix now. Young Penix look good. 1935, 223 yards, a TD and an interception. But I love seeing the ball come off his hands. I hate left-hand quarterbacks, but the ball was coming off his hands. And watching Penix and Jaden Daniels, they reminded me a little bit of each other. Because Jaden Daniels is so cool. And Penix was cool. He was handling. He threw the ball 35 times. Dude, this is so incredible because I told you I love the Kirk Cousins thing that they did. And then still going back and drafting this kid. I thought it was smart. I said, I gave you the now and later analogy. Kurt was going to be the now and he was going to be the later. And they had great supporting cast talent. His process sped up because Kurt's fell off. And man, now this works out so great for Atlanta because they're still fighting to get in the playoffs, right? And rather they do or they don't. Now they go into the offseason with information because he's getting all of these reps. And the greatest jump of any player in the National Football League is that first year, between the first and second year, if he had plays to study that first year. Just sitting down, you don't get that great jump. But when you play, you can make that great jump in your game. And he'll get that opportunity to make that great jump in his game now this offseason. And this team here will be on the way. This will be like, man, like my 89 Cowboys, when we got Troy a few years later, we were taking off. But they got a better start because they're not starting at the bottom of the pile. We started at the bottom of the pile with the first pick. They were not at the bottom of the pile. And they got him at about the 8th pick. And right now, they got a very good team for him to grow into. Michael Penix Jr. is the him I am talking about. But Jaden Daniels is a whole different dude. Now, had earned 27 rushing yards. Broke RG3 rookie rushing record, right? You saw that Sunday night game. This is what I'm talking about. He's so smooth. Think about this. That's 127 rushing yards. Did you see? Did it look like he had 127 rushing yards? Remember Michael Vick when he would have 100 yards rushing, or Lamar Jackson when he would have 100-yard rushing? Man, you see some of the most dynamic rushes, some of the most great plays. Man, you like, wow, look at that. He's so dynamic. He's so incredible. You don't see those kind of runs with Jaden Daniels. Then how the hell did he end up with 127 rush yards? You don't even think it's 127 rush yards, but it is. The only rookie quarterback to ever throw for 3 TDs and rush for at least 125 yards. I was like, out of all those great young quarterbacks we had, neither ever done it as a rookie. Michael Vick did do it with Philadelphia. There were 3 other guys who have done it that were not rookies. So I just pulled out Michael Vick for some reason. I don't know why. That was the one I pulled out. But I'll get to those other two. So but it's an incredible thing when you think about that. And that's what makes him so special, that he wins games late. If you're ever going to be great in this league, you got to win games late to be great. And he does. He wins games late. He's done that quite a bit this year. What did I see the other day? I was looking at something they were talking about. Oh, he's 4-0 in December. That's what you want to hear. Okay. Now you had a little scared in the middle of the season, but now you're 4-0. You got back on his pace going into the playoffs. What do people say all the time? We want to be playing our best ball going into the playoffs, and that's what they are about to do. They'll be playing their best ball going into the playoffs. That's another thing too, because I want to throw that out too. Since we were talking about that, I know we were talking about MVP and we were talking about Jaden Daniels, and I love Jaden Daniels, and no doubt, guys, no doubt, he has locked, knocked, and owns the Roy Rookie of the Year. He owns the Roy. I don't care that people try to throw Ben Nixon and all that. I don't want to hear it. He owns the Roy. But I do want to say, that other rookie over there is a bad man. And I got to stop right here and give that bad man some love. I know I mentioned it before, but Brock Bowers breaks 2 records. And when I see this dude, I'm like, that dude there, boy, he's going to be a bad man for a long time, man. A rookie. Most receptions in a rookie season by a tight end. Most yards in a rookie season by a tight end. You know how long Mike Dicker had that? Mike Dicker had that forever. All those great tight ends that have come through, and all the great tight ends we talk about right now, none has had the start that Brock Bowers has had. And I'm going to tell you, that dude right there is special. He is special. Folks, oops, they've done it again. They did it again, dude. This thing here, see, I told y'all, this is the kind of game we talking about. This is the kind of game. Oh, you see what they did a hook and ladder. Oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They hook and ladder and Jameson Wilson ran in another touchdown. That was incredible. Scored now 14-12. 14-12. Yep, 14-12. Now they're kicking an extra point. I wanted to see if he was going to chase that point and go for 2. That's why I got silent right there. But he went on and kicked it. He needed to kick it too because he needs to make sure that he can shore up that block that just happened prior to. Yep, Amon-Ra St. Brown catches a hook route and ladders it, a hook and ladder to Jameson Williams. And he goes in for the TD. Oh my God, this is crazy. Detroit needs to be saving that kind of stuff, for the playoffs. Even if they lose this game, next week is a big game. But it's like he says, he don't want to get in any frame of mind where it's okay to lose in games. All right, I just want to go. Let me hit these playoff, AFC playoffs, NFC playoffs, and then let you guys. We'll get back to watching these games. But I want to say a couple things. Just quick on the AFC side. I know a lot of people, the big concern is probably the Chiefs and how they play out these last few games. And the Chiefs, if they rest Patrick Mahomes and everybody this week, they don't play Sunday. They don't play Sunday coming up. Of course, they don't play the last game. He's not going to play. Then they have the bye. Then it's a long time for a long layoff. And I said I would be worried with any other team because that long of a layoff messes up the timing of any offense. And all these offenses are timing. When the quarterback hits 5 steps, you have to be at a certain place, and he is throwing the ball. That's all timing. But I don't worry about that stuff with the Chiefs. So let me tell you why. Because the Chiefs don't just play on timing. They play timing football like everyone else, but they play second time, third time, fourth time because Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes has such a unique, dynamic duo field for the coverages. So I'm not going to hit my fifth step and let the ball go, and we got to set the timing up right. No, I'm going to hit my fifth step and get ready to let it go. But if our timing is off or it's off, I don't mind buying a little time, and you're going to find some time and find a hole sooner or later, and I'm going to hit you, and that's it. So I don't worry about it as much as I would with any other football team, not the Chiefs. I'm hearing, let me tell you, you guys know, Chiefs 1, Bills 2, Steelers 3, Texans 4. That Steelers Chiefs game on Christmas, everybody, I know it turned out looking like a blowout, but the game was much closer than it ended up being. Remember now, Chiefs were up 13-0. Steelers scored. Steelers went down and scored again, but got a holding penalty. They went up 14-13, but they got a holding penalty on that second touchdown. They brought it back. Russell Wilson, next play, throws an interception. Then they go and score, and the game never really gets back on track. So I'm just saying that was a closer game than most people think. And I can't wait, though, to see what happens with the Chargers and the Broncos in the playoffs. I am shocked that we're still here talking about the Bengals and the Dolphins still having a chance, because the questions were today, if the Bengals make the playoffs, can Joe Burrow get the MVP? And I still said no. You know what I mean? I still said no. It's not like he came in. There's a good example. There's a good example of a losing team. Somebody asked, and it just hit me. Here, let me give you this example. Team starts 0-6. Or the team starts 0-6. And now Joe Burrow comes in and he gets that team to 9-7. And he has that kind of season that we're talking about. I can put him in for an MVP. Or I remember my season, a 9-8 season. 17 games, 9-8. And they make the playoffs. And I said, yeah, yep. I can put him in on an MVP season because his numbers went towards the wins. Somebody else got them damn losses. You trying to tell me to give him credit for his numbers when they win, but don't take nothing away from him from his numbers when they lose. So I'm telling you, if somebody else was playing quarterback when they lost those games, and Joe Burrow comes in now and gets some good, yeah, dude, that's a valid point right there. I'm glad God gave me that thought right there. That's what I like. That's a valid point. And that this game here, 14-13, and this Detroit, San Francisco game. I just love that in the end of the year, that Vikings and Lions game, Detroit gonna be the game. It's gonna be the game. The question now everybody's asking about is Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna tell you this. In this playoff picture right now, do they go for the record? I say yes. Let me tell you why. And I love what Sirianni said. Coach said, I'm going to do what the team wants to do. I know people start thinking, Michael, it's not about breaking records. I don't understand that. Oh, San Fran just hit him deep, ball down to the 8-yard line. Ricky Parasol, Ricky having a great game, boy. He already caught a touchdown earlier. Now, he already got them back in scoring position on the 8-yard line. San Fran's getting ready to try to add to this 1-point lead. All over route. Man, oh, man, they blew coverage. They blew that coverage. Boy, he's a master with that design and plays. They blew the coverage right there. But that's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game right there. You call it like this. You call it. Let me get back. This NFC playoff stuff. This NFC playoff. I want to talk about it. Everybody's talking about should they go for the record, and I'm saying hell to the yeah, and I'm saying why they should go. And Sirianni said that we're going to do what the team wants to do. I love this because it's all about the mentality here. It's all about the mentality. I used earlier the Colts as an example. They wanted to go for the undefeated season in the locker room. And I remember Bill Polian coming out in an article saying, no, we're not going for an undefeated season. We got bigger goals than an undefeated season. We have Super Bowl. That's our goal. But the team was openly talking about they want to go for the undefeated season. San Francisco, Brock Purdy just ran a 9-yard touchdown. So they're back on top 20, 13 right now, where this thing is getting good. So once Bill Polian came out and the team was real vocal about going for the undefeated, Bill Polian said no. He took that off the table. They played some backs and whatever. They lost the game. He broke the team's mentality. He broke the team's mentality, which broke the team, I believe. If the team has set in their heads, in their minds, that they were going for the undefeated, that means they were going to do whatever it takes to go undefeated. Not just through the season, but also through the playoffs. Because then, you got to. So once you said no to them, you don't even have on a uniform. You're wearing a suit, a 3-piece, 2-piece. You're making a decision over the collective mentality of the locker room when your ass ain't in the locker room. You just ripped apart. You ripped us apart. Sirianni said, I'm going to listen to the team. And I think that's very smart because if the team says, let's go for it, we can get this 100 yards for him against his old team, the Giants. And then they go and get that 100 yards in that record. They take that mentality into the playoffs. We did that. We said we were going to do it. Now let's go do this like we said we were going to go do it. It is huge. It is huge. Everybody thinking I'm crazy by saying, but it is huge, huge, huge that he listens to the team. And whatever they decide, that he goes with that. That'll be the big kicker of all of this week 18 stuff. And then that final game, that's going to be a great game to see who has that top spot in the NFC playoff picture. That game, Vikings, Detroit. I can't wait to see it. Guys, I'm going to say this before I get out of here. I've been running an hour already, but I can't wait because I know this was my first year doing this, and I really enjoyed this. I'm enjoying this, I should say, but I enjoyed it for this year. For this year. Next time we talk, baby, it'll be next year. It will be next year. And I'm looking forward to next year. Right here on the YouTube channel, right here in the locker room. But because football's always there, right? And we'll have basketball and all of those things. But I want to do other things in the off season. Take you places, go do things, show you how I live when I'm not on air working all the time. So I'm gonna bring you around with me and talk. I want to go places. I want to do things. I want to get in my Playmaker RV from Funtown and go hit cities. Come to your city. I want to come and do a live stream in one of your cities. I'm gonna be like that, you know what I mean? Just ride in the city, ride in town, and do a live stream, hanging out with you guys, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's what we're going to do. On the road, live streams, getting everybody in and getting everybody on the channel. I'm going to be putting all of this together this upcoming year. That's going to be my resolution. They asked me what's my resolution. I got two. I'm going to get these legs strong. I'm going to get my legs stronger again because I'm going to get some work done on my knee just so I can get better, get my legs better. But I promise you, I'm coming out there to spend some time with the people. Football's been so great to me, man, over the years. I can't thank God enough for the life He's given me. And I can't thank God enough for the lives that He allowed me to cross-pollinate with. And you guys are part of that. So I'm going to be hitting the road, man, pulling up at spots and places. And I'll let you guys know that we're going to get together and just chop it up. And we're going to have a great time. You know what I mean? All is going to be fine, and we're going to have a great time coming up in 2025. So, hey, Happy New Year to everybody. Be safe, be with family, have a great time, and make sure you'll be right back here in the locker room in 2025. God bless. See you